You unlock this door with the keys of your reality, an eighth dimension beyond which is known to man, as vast as space, as timeless as infinity, an area which we call.
Hey, it's me, John Taylor Tucker. Today, we're going to do an experiment in which we will attempt to communicate using our minds. Prepare to connect to this experiment now by ensuring your headphones are in and eyes are closed. Ready? Now clear your mind and take a deep breath as we enter the Tucker Zone.
Hey, welcome to the Tucker Zone 8D. It worked. We're now communicating through our minds, connected by the space of our realities. Throughout this experience, I want to open new doors in this space. Doors that will lead to shared worlds for us to explore. Worlds that will permanently bend the direction of your reality. Ready to bend your reality?
Oh, looks like we lost connection. Were you not ready? It's not as extreme as it sounds, I promise. Hold on, 1 second.
We're back. Can you hear me? Okay, it's important that you keep your eyes closed to hold the connection. Fully embrace the experience. I know, it's strange because we're used to living in the solitary confinement of our minds every day. I mean, technically, you can never experience anything outside of here. In fact, as I walk around the front of your head, consider that every new door you open must exist within the room you're already in, unlocked only by using the keys of your own reality. Hear that? These are your keys. Nobody else's sound the same. Listen as I shake them around your head, around the back and over to the left, around the front and back to the right. You see, the keys you've collected represent where you've gone and determined where you can go next. And you realize you just gave them to me, right? Don't worry, I'm responsible. I'll just toss these over here for now.
Seems like I've lost you again. Stand by. It's important we understand each other clearly.
We're back. Hopefully that's the last time we lose the connection. Maybe we just need to switch it up. Let some fresh air in. You know, our senses are the windows of our world. The things you hear, see, smell, taste, and feel fuel your mind, just like food fuels your body. Hungry? Hear this bacon cooking? Question: how do you know this is bacon? How do you know you can rely on your senses to show you the whole truth? After all, every window has a shape. For example, this bacon sounds like it's right here, in the room with you. And by now, you've probably envisioned how the bacon looks, haven't you? Can you almost smell it? If I bring it up here by your mouth, can you almost taste it? Is it mouth-watering? Can you feel the hunger? But it's not real. Right now, your senses are being tricked by this experiment. There is no bacon. I'm not even in the room with you. But even if you think, go ahead, think hard that this is just an illusion. It's not real. You still can't stop it. So wait, if we can know our senses are being tricked and we still can't stop the trick, how do we know the whole world isn't like that? One big trick of our senses, or worse, one big trick of our mind. It's alarming how real it seems. Oh, no, this is not good. Keep your eyes closed. The experiment is failing. Our communication is breaking, but if we end here, there will be permanent glitches in our minds. Quick, where are those keys? I have to open a new door now, even if you're not ready. The door is down here. A hole. We have to go deeper. I'm gonna push you down on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey, up here. Watch out below. You hear that? The sounds we're falling through are the sounds your brain hasn't filtered yet. You see, everything in the outside world is random. Nothing means anything until your brain gives it meaning. Those voices are people talking outside this experiment right now. What's their names? Language is a perfect example of this. I mean, when we talk, we're really just making random weird sounds with our mouths. Those noises only mean something when your brain remembers what you've been taught that they mean. Words. But that only works if everybody is taught the same. I mean, some people are taught differently, like with other languages. If you don't know, those noises mean nothing to you again. And it goes beyond just the sounds, too. I mean, other languages structure their communication differently as well. But I wonder, even when we speak the same language, how different are we trying to communicate? Unaware how isolated and primitive our weird little sounds are. I mean, it all seems so interpretive. Oh, hey, we're approaching the end of this rabbit hole. Pull your parachute if you want to keep your sanity. We've entered an abstract space where our minds make sense of our senses. But what makes sense to me may not make sense to you. Make sense? You see, we don't experience the true outside world, but rather your inner voice's interpretation of it. But when you only hear your own echoes, it's easy to think you're the only sane one. Speaking of echoes, let's try this. Hello! Hello! How are you? How are you? I asked you first. I asked you first. Get it? I'm an idiot! You're an idiot! Okay, so wait. Not only can our senses be tricked, and not only is our modern forms of communication primitive, but even at the core, we could just be hearing what we want to hear anyway, wrapped in a bubble of our own thoughts. Like this bubble wrap. Those bubbles are filled by mixing in the new air with the old, filling in what we don't know about current experiences with what we've learned from previous ones, applying the internal to decide the external, becoming attracted to those who share similar distorted perceptions, influencing our malleable memories, living in groups of bubble realities. I want to pop those bubbles. I want to understand that we can't understand each other, at least not so easily. Understand that the people we communicate with daily don't fit in convenient boxes beyond our own head. This feels familiar. Let's see. There's this one here. Oh, over here there's that one. Oh, hey, here's that time capsule again. Listen. Just because our experience of the world can be as simple as black and white doesn't mean there isn't a lot of gray area. You suck at this! Especially when emotions are involved. Think gray. Everybody knows something that we don't. Everybody has had an experience that we haven't. We can learn something from everybody. But only if we don't shut them down. We're running out of time. There just isn't enough. I mean, how do I consider how I feel? How I want to share that? Remember what words I know that will help convey it best, fit it into the context of the conversation, and deliver it in a way that can actually express my abstract ideas and feelings in the time of a normal conversation? How do I know that your senses received it correctly? How do I know your brain is going to interpret what I meant? After all, you're using your brain to try to reconstruct ideas from my mind. It all seems impossible. Our communication is crumbling. We have to find a way back up. But does communication even have a direction, or is it just a constant cycle of miscommunicating or misinterpreting reverse. So then, if it's this hard to understand others, it's equally hard for them to understand us. I've got it. We're going to have to flip the direction of our realities. We have to fall back down the hole we fell down at the beginning by flipping everything. Hold tight. We did it. Now, jump with me. 1, 2, 3. Look at all this information we're constantly taking in. Social media? These platforms dilute our communication even beyond just sounds, but to just scribbles on a screen, just markings, lines. The media, the news, it's literally their job to communicate information, and yet it seems they've fallen into these traps as well. Everybody has their own version of their reality, even the people giving us the building blocks for the information we use to build ours. Can any source be trusted? Is some of this done for profit? I mean, how deep does this go? Wait, am I doing that right now? Oh, parachutes, now! There's gotta be hope to understand each other, right? I mean, we're all basically the same as humans, right? Maybe if we just recognize that we view the world through a certain window, recognize that others may have a different view of something we can't see, admit we can't rely entirely on our internal perspective to take in an external world, admit we could be wrong, and shut ourselves down. We can genuinely be open to new perspectives. I have a perspective that communicating is a form of expressing, like creating art. And in fact, in a certain aspect, maybe art can be a more effective communicator than direct language itself. You see, language tends to ignore that it's naturally interpretive. It attempts to only have one meaning, whereas art embraces the interpretive nature of human communication. I think these are yours. Here, one new one up. Use it and follow me. Let's head out this door you're always behind. Where language itself is just a flat directional plane, art can be a multifaceted, multi-layered, spherical world curated by the expressor for the interpreter to freely explore. I have a perspective that the type of art I'm creating, which I call experiences, can maximize the impact of that expression, creating worlds which are entered through extraordinary doors that interpreters unlock with the keys of their own realities. Interconnected worlds which don't force ideas but provide a platform to embrace them at will, ultimately conveying my expression as the expressor by encouraging the world to be interpreted by their mind as the interpreter to your mind. A shared communication between us. A communication in A.